You ever have those moments where it feels like there's nothing in the pantry? Actually, usually the case is that you have something in the pantry, but maybe it's something kind of boring, and you maybe don't have any ideas on what to cook it with. Well, let me tell you, you will have a lot fewer of those days if you keep some of this around. This is a very simple but very special Italian condiment, I guess I'd call it. It's really easy to make, which is why we always keep a big jar in the fridge, and you can do a lot of very good things with it. This is one of the perfect pantry problem solvers. Today, Ava's gonna show you how she makes it and to give you a few ideas on what you can do with it.
Because summer is going to an end, is the moment in which in Italy we think how to preserve all the flavor that we have in summer so they can last through fall, through winter. And one of the things that we do in Italy and most in Sicily is using the sun-dried tomatoes. Sicilian people, Calabrian people, people from the south, they before dried under the sun in summer. But now is the moment to make them last. I don't want to say forever, but for some months. What we are going to do is something that we can define as a pesto, which means that we need to ground all these sun-dried tomatoes. I was going to say whole peeled tomatoes.
Now, a really quick word about kitchen tools. The most traditional and the best way to make this condiment is to use a meat grinder. We're going to use the meat grinder attachment on our KitchenAid, but do not think that you need some big expensive thing like this just to make this simple condiment. I've never seen one of those in Italy. In fact, the meat grinders that I'm familiar with there are these little hand crank ones. They're metal. I don't have one here, but it's what Ava's family uses, and they're really affordable. I'll put a link down below, so if you're interested in getting one of those, that's a totally viable way to go. A meat grinder gives a very specific texture to the tomatoes. You'll see in a little bit, and that's really the proper way to do this. However, if you don't have a meat grinder, you can of course use just your normal food processor. The danger with a food processor is that you don't want to over blend the tomatoes. You're not trying to make tomato paste. So if you trust your pulsing skills and you can chop up the tomatoes pretty finely but not completely pulverize them, then you can use a food processor. Your last resort, of course, is a knife. You can always just chop up the tomatoes. Takes a little bit longer, but I mean, after all, they've been making this dish in Italy for a really long time. This is what they used before they had food processors of any kind.
There are several ways in which you can give aroma to your sun-dried tomatoes pesto. One of the way is adding some herbs or some spices. In my case, I'm going to add basil, garlic, and spicy pepper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ground all this with my sun-dried tomatoes. After our sun-dried tomatoes with all the aromas are grounded, what we need to do is transfer them into a jar. And it's very important that you press them very well. You can add also some other fresh basil. I'm going to add also some very good, in this case, Calabrian oregano, and keep adding the tomatoes. And the last ingredient is olive oil, and we need to cover it completely. It's very important that your pesto, sun-dried tomatoes is always completely covered in olive oil. So when you pour some, you need to wait a little bit and keep an eye because some of the olive oil will go down. And if this happens, you need to add a little bit more. And here we have the famous worldwide Capuliato Siciliano. Now I'm going to show you what you can do with the Capuliato Siciliano, but before, a quick word from today's video sponsor.
This video is brought to you by EarthBreeze. This is maybe one of the most no-brainer products I've ever seen in my life, and it has totally changed the way that we do our laundry for the better. Most of us, ourselves included, go to the store and you get one of those big plastic jugs of laundry detergent. It's heavy, it takes up a lot of space, it drips everywhere, and then once you use up all the detergent, you have this big plastic jug you gotta throw away. Or you could just have this tiny thin little envelope. These are dissolvable laundry detergent sheets that take the place of messy, goopy laundry detergent. All you do is take a sheet, drop it in with your laundry, and you're done. I learned recently that 91% of single-use plastics, even the ones that we think that we're recycling, aren't actually recycled, and over 500 million detergent bottles end up in landfills in the ocean every year. Kind of a win-win when something is really convenient for you and good for the environment. The laundry never stops, which is why you can subscribe and get EarthBreeze shipped right to your door at regular intervals, and they do so with carbon offset shipping. And if for any chance you don't prefer this over your old laundry detergent, they will completely refund you, no questions asked. But trust me, you're gonna like it. That's why you should check out the link in the video description below. That's earthbreeze.com/pastagrammar, and if you click it, you will get 40% off your subscription. A big thank you to EarthBreeze for sponsoring this video and for turning us on to something really cool.
One of the easiest way to enjoy your Capuliato Siciliano is making a bruschetta. You have the choice actually to toast a slice of very good bread and just spread some Capuliato on top. But you can also elevate your bruschetta, and this is what I'm going to do. Here I have just simple grilled zucchini, and now what I'm going to do is drizzle them with a little bit of olive oil and place on top some mint leaf.
Ah, the old garlic bruschetta rub.
See, this is how we put garlic on a bruschetta.
Now that is a bruschetta. A bruschetta with a capital B. I love this stuff because there's so many different things that you can do with it that I don't think I've ever had like the same thing twice made with it. Buon appetito. I see what you did with that mint. Oh my gosh. This stuff is just so good and so easy to use as a spread. You can mix it with ricotta or cream cheese, put it on a sandwich, make an amazing sandwich. It is so, so good. Okay, one more bite.
The smell is amazing.
That's a good one. Save that one. We need to revisit that one.
It's so powerful, but it's still so delicate that you can imagine. This bruschetta is one of the best that I had in my life. Not always. I give myself a judge. This is 11 out of 10. Capuliato is not just a spread on your bruschetta. It can be used also as a sauce. And now I'm going to show you how to eat some pasta with Capuliato Siciliano. Because this is a Sicilian recipe, I'm going to make the Sicilian cheese, which means anchovies and breadcrumb. I'm just toasting it a little bit and save it for later because I'm going to use this as a topping. Like every pesto, when you use as a topping for pasta, you don't want to cook it. So what I'm going to do is scoop some of this in just a bowl.
Already smells so good. Buon appetito. You know, in summer, nothing beats just a really fresh tomato sauce. But as summer starts to end, you want something a bit heavier, a bit punchier. This is it, because it has all the flavors of a tomato sauce, but just in a much more concentrated, powerful form. It's like a supercharged tomato sauce. Even if you skip the breadcrumbs, even if you just use this as a really simple pasta sauce, you have a sauce that's basically prepared, incredible flavor, so easy and quick to make. We'll reluctantly turn this over to you, Eva.
Buon appetito! I don't quite understand, so I need to do the second for science. As Harper said before, all the good stuff of a very good summer tomatoes, it's here. This sauce is just a bomb of flavor. And this is dangerous because I can eat kilos of this. It's very hard to not like a bruschetta. And it's also very hard to not like a good plate of pasta. But for sure, it's very easy to not like chicken breast, because this is one of the most boring food in all the world. I don't care, fight me, but the chicken breast, I don't understand why it exists.
How do you really feel about chicken?
Chicken is for sick people. But luckily, we have our Capuliato that will make this chicken breast a wonderful second course. Here I have some fresh pecorino cheese. Now, if you can't find fresh pecorino cheese, you can substitute it with a very dry mozzarella, with a provolone, with a caciocavallo, a fontina, a piece of Asiago.
Shrimp gumbo, pan fried, deep fried, stir fried. There's pineapple shrimp.
Maybe a good piece of cheddar, but the cheddar needs to be good. I really like pecorino cheese, so this is what I'm going to use. Here can work very well also the scamorza affumicata.
Lemon shrimp.
Finish it with some basil leaves and some mint leaves. I'm preparing a very simple pastella made with water and flour. I don't have really a measure. I'm just doing by eye until I reach the right consistency. And the consistency should be the same of when you make the arancini and you will use them. This is my comparison. That is liquid, but not too liquid. I baked the chicken at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 45 minutes or until the temperature inside reaches 165.
You can see that amazing capuliato and cheesy stuffing. Buon appetito.
That is a chicken breast. This is something that also I can eat.
Yeah, because it doesn't just taste like chicken breast, it tastes like this. This is some amazing stuff.
This is a treasure to keep in your fridge because we show you the bruschetta, the pasta, the boring chicken breast that is not boring anymore, but actually you can do a lot of it. You can put on the pizza, you can make the bread with this inside, you can mix, as you said before, with the ricotta or the cream cheese. You can use this also as a seasoning for a salad, or think about a plate of just boring boiled potatoes and you put this on top.
Shrimp soup, shrimp stew, shrimp salad.
Just be creative.
Well, also it's so concentrated. I mean, you just made like 3 different things with it and we barely used any of it at all. So it really lasts a long time and it's something that you can make once. It's always there. You can always spice up something with it. You're missing out if you don't have it in your fridge, I think.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, I know, I like chicken breast also, not just you.
We hope you guys give this stuff a shot because it is really an amazing Sicilian condiment. Speaking of Sicilian food, here is a pasta grammarian who made an amazing Sicilian pasta dish. One of the best pasta dishes I've had in a long time. Pasta rumalu tempu.
Bravo Harper, pasta Roma lo tempo. And they did an amazing job because it looks very, very good.
That also uses the Sicilian breadcrumbs on top. Oh, anyway, so good.
Maybe we should do a video on how to use the Sicilian cheese.
Just put it on everything. Done. Just do it! I'll make a YouTube short.
How to make everything better, the Sicilian breadcrumb.
If you want to become a Pasta Grammarian, just hit that subscribe button, follow us on social media at Pasta Grammar, and we'll see you guys next time.
Ciao!
Ciao. So does this mean we can eat more chicken?
If it's made like that, yes, Harper. We can eat more chicken.
Oh, this is so good. Okay, yes, this is definitely better than how I cook chicken.